Hi guys, another week, another episode. Welcome back. It's absolutely great to have you here. Firstly, I want to reflect on last week. So we thought of our goals, we made the first 12-week plan, and it was time to start implementing. I think it's still in the beginning, and some of us may struggle with it, some of us may find it really easy, which is great. But I'm here today to give you some tips on how to just stick to it and just get on with it. Probably realized that sticking with the goals and the tasks that we need to do on sort of weekly and daily basis can be difficult. I want to take us back to the basics and really think of what we can do to make it just easier for us. So one of the things would be just to keep it simple. Don't focus on too many things at a time, just focus on one thing and just get it done. Remember in the last week episode we talked about just one priority task for every goal. Have a look at the previous video where I explain it in more of a detail. Some of us are really strong people and they just rely purely on willpower, which totally isn't my case. So I need something a little bit more consistent to help me with achieving what I want to do. Even the greatest people in the world, the richest people, the best athletes in the world, they have days when they just don't want to get out of bed, don't want to go swimming, don't want to build that strength, endurance, and that's just the way it is. Here are the tips to just stick with it, get going on those lazy days, on those days that we just feel like we just don't want to do anything. But if we don't, then we'll skip one day, we'll skip 2 days, all of a sudden it's week, a month, and then we're totally behind. So here they come. So the first one that I found really useful is just break down the 12-week plan and make a week plan. So you focus on a week at a time. So for example, every Sunday, just sit down and reflect on the week that just gone by. Try to think of how many things you've done, what was really good, what didn't work that well for you, and then plan the week ahead. So think about only 7 days. Think about the priorities, think about all the goals that you have to do, not the things that you should do. Leave those behind, only the things that are really important for you to be moving forward. You can write those down, you can write them in your phone, on your email, on your to-do list. Take them with you, have it in your purse, have it in a wardrobe, stick it to a wall, in the bathroom next to a mirror. Just remind yourself, just keep looking at it and just focus on those 7 days only, nothing else. So the next tip I have for you guys is peer support. So don't really struggle with it, ask for help, ask for support, work with someone. Someone once said that there is no such thing as self-made man, and I totally agree with it. If you're doing stuff on your own, you're just gonna find it more difficult, you're just gonna spend more time on it. For example, me, right? So I started doing these videos like a month ago now. The first one was on my phone. Okay, great. The other two, I really thought about it, I really thought of the content a little bit more, and I started planning like what day I'm gonna post and all these things. So it was more thought that went into it. But then I did everything on my computer. Obviously the camera is not the greatest, and then I've got this free editing tool, which again, it's not perfect. So the second video took me a long time. The third video took me even longer because I went online, I was trying to look for different editing tools, and I swear to you, I'm not even lying, it took me, I think it was 7 or 8 hours from shooting the video to completing it. Yes, I've learned, but I will probably, this is not my priority. I mean, I would love to know it, but I've got other things that I would rather focus on. So my lovely boyfriend offered me help, which was great. I mean, he can be learning on this, he's enjoying this, he absolutely loves what he does and he understands it. So he's got the basic knowledge that he used to edit the videos. So the video number 4 and number 5, I think it was, they were so much better because it wasn't me, I wasn't struggling with it. He took over and he got it finished in less of a time. So this goes for everything else, if there is something that you do and it's new and you've got someone that understands it, just ask for help, Just don't struggle with it on your own, because you will become discouraged, you will feel like you're no good, and it will just take you much, much longer. So just ask for help. The other thing that comes to peer support is my weekly phone calls with a friend of mine. So at the moment we're doing 2 phone calls a week, which is great. But in the past we started with 1, and you know, it's something I've got in my diary. We used to do it every Sunday or every Monday, depending on what was going on in our lives and stuff. And first of all, I'm really looking forward to it. And secondly, you know, she's my friend. She is lovely. She's starting her own business. We're starting our own journeys. So, you know, we bounce ideas off of each other and we help each other. This is not a place to lie. This is not a place to say, you know, make up something instead of just saying, you know, we always make up like, oh, we didn't have time, we're so busy, the kids and the school and this and that. This is a place to be really honest and say, look, I didn't do it because I was lazy. I didn't do it because I didn't know where to start. You know, I was feeling down. I had so many other things going on, and that's absolutely fine, you know, but try to help each other, you know. I'm there to listen to her, and I might say, based on what she says to me, okay, maybe, you know, these are the things that you can improve or change, or maybe just scrap them all together because I don't think they serve you any good, and try something totally different. So, you know, maybe do that. Even big companies, they have these meetings every so often, I think every week as well, where they just go back, where they reflect, and when they help each other as a team. So it's about help and support. So the next one, guys, is when your 12-week plan doesn't align with your long-term vision. So you've got this long-term vision in your head, the house you live in, how many kids you want, the car you're driving, the job you do, the money that you have in your bank account, the charities you do stuff for, you know, all those great things that you really thought about. But if the 12-week plan doesn't align with the vision, you're gonna get off track and you feel like, what am I actually working towards? You know, you're gonna become a bit confused and again discouraged. So really make sure that the 12 weeks are your journey towards the long-term vision, okay? You don't make tough choices. So if you remember in the previous episodes we talked about it, and we pointed out the fact that when you're making these goals, when you're making this 12-week plan, the task that you will have to do, that will be tough. You will have to make some tough decisions. There will be things that you will have to give up. And just remind yourself this, you know, because when it comes to implementing, you think like, oh, I'm just gonna, instead of getting up early, I'll just get up a little bit later. I'm guilty of it myself, you know, it happens to all of us, but it's time for us to improve and practice and just get better at it. So instead of giving up, of course, that's nothing like what we want to do at all, you know, just make sure you remember that you promised yourself that there will be things that you will give up and you'll be fine about it. Because long term, when you think about it, you will give it up now and it's going to be hard. The next time it's going to be a little bit easier, a little bit easier, a little bit easier. And at the end of it, when you achieve all those great things, you'll be like, wow, this wasn't difficult at all. It will be totally worth it at the end of it. And the last very important thing is to stay focused. So this kind of summarizes everything we just talked about. So make it simple, focus on one thing at a time. You know, break down your goals into what's the number one priority you need to do, and just do that. Don't do anything else. Don't overwhelm yourself. If you do too much, you will spread yourself really thin. You'll be doing something there and there and everywhere. But just try to stick to one thing and just get it done and do it right. I would absolutely love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear your story, how you're doing with your plan. Are you sticking to your goals? Are you finding it difficult? Is there anything at all I can do to help you? Just let me know. Just post a comment below and we'll take it from there. So it was great to have you here. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and I will see you again next week.